Hey there, welcome back. Today, we're going deep on this YouTube video that's been, making the rounds. It's the one about all those tips on how to go from, like, zero to millionaire. It's packed. I mean, it's crammed with advice. So we were going to help you sift through it and find the good stuff.
Yeah, it's amazing how this video is trying to cover like all the bases, habits, mindsets, even like specific strategies. It's like a buffet for the aspiring millionaire.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I'm feeling a little overwhelmed just thinking about it all. So,
Yeah.
where do we even start?
Okay, well, it starts off with what it calls the 6 money rules of millionaires. And basically, these are habits that they say these folks use to build wealth.
Okay, all right. Lay some wisdom on me. What's the first rule?
Pay yourself first.
And no, it's not about, like, go on a shopping spree or anything. It's about setting aside some of your income for savings and investments before you even start spending on anything else.
Oh, okay. So it's like that saying, it's not about how much you make, it's about how much you keep. Yeah, exactly. And a lot of millionaires, even before they were rich, they lived below their means and they absolutely prioritized saving.
The video talks about this guy who bought all these, like, fancy things, like a Porsche, designer clothes, a Rolex. And it's like, the thrill wore off super fast. I've definitely been there. I mean,
wow.
That new phone feeling fades so quick.
Yeah. It's a perfect example of what's called hedonic adaptation. But
Yeah.
basically, we as humans, we get used to new things, no matter how exciting they are at first, right? And then we want the next shiny thing. It's like this never-ending cycle of spending.
So how do we break that cycle? I mean, I like shiny things.
Well, one way is to focus more on experiences rather than material things, like memories of a Chimeras, great trip or a concert. Those tend to last longer than the excitement of, like, a new gadget, for example. And plus, you're creating memories, not clutter.
Good point. Okay, so pay yourself first and swap some stuff for experiences. What else is on that? Millionaire rule list.
Another one is keeping your expense growth lower than your income growth. So as you start earning more, don't let your lifestyle, inflate at the same rate like it's tempting to. Upgrade your car or get a bigger apartment when you get a raise. But that can, sabotage your long-term financial goals.
Oh, yeah. It's about being mindful and intentional with your spending, right? Not letting that lifestyle creep eat away at your savings.
Exactly. And this kind of goes with another rule, which is making your money work for you through investments. It's not just about saving. It's putting that money to work so it grows over time.
Seeing a theme here, it's about playing the long game, being strategic, disciplined with your finances.
Absolutely. And that's where the other rules come in, diversifying your income streams. So you're not reliant on just one job. Having an emergency fund, just in case unexpected things happen. And building a strong network.
Wait, networking. I thought we were talking about money, not cocktail parties.
Well, it's all connected. The people you're around, they can really impact your mindset and your opportunities if you surround yourself with ambitious people, successful people. Their energy and their ideas can be contagious.
It's like finding your tribe. People who challenge you, inspire you, support you.
Exactly. Building a strong network is like investing in social capital. You never know when a connection might lead to a new opportunity or valuable insight.
Okay, so we got the money rules down, but it doesn't stop there, right? The video also talks about morning routines.
Yes. After laying that foundation with those financial principles, it moves on to the 6 success habits before 9 a.m. Basically, how you start your day sets the tone for everything that comes after.
Okay, I'm intrigued. I'm more of a hit the snooze button 5 times kind of person. What kind of habits are we talking about?
Well, it emphasizes 2 things right off the bat: exercise and a nutritious breakfast.
Okay, that sounds pretty straightforward. But what makes them so important for success?
There's a lot of science behind it, actually. Exercise it increases blood flow to the brain, which helps with cognitive function and boosts energy levels. And a healthy breakfast provides, the fuel your brain needs for focus and concentration throughout the day.
Was it like giving your brain a jump start?
Exactly. It's about setting yourself up for a more productive and energized day.
One thing I always struggle with is all those little tasks, the ones that feel like they're just hanging over my head, feeding the dog, doing the laundry, those kinds of things. And this video actually addresses this. Right?
Yes. It suggests getting all those quick but essential non-work tasks done early in the morning. The idea is if you get them out of the way, you free up mental space and reduce stress. And it allows you to focus on more demanding tasks later on.
It's like clearing the clutter from your mind, literally and figuratively.
Precisely. And it goes beyond just those small tasks. It recommends tackling your most challenging task first thing in the morning. You know, the one you've been putting off.
Oh, I know that one. I always find a way to procrastinate on those.
The logic is you have the most willpower and mental energy early in the day. So if you do that challenging task first, you get that feeling of accomplishment and momentum. That can carry you through the rest of your day.
Makes sense. So exercise, breakfast, conquer the to-do list. Are there any other morning habits on this list?
Yeah, it also emphasizes continuous learning, planning your day strategically, and building in flexibility.
So it's about being prepared, but also adaptable, having a plan, but being able to adjust as needed.
Exactly. It's like laying the groundwork for a successful and fulfilling day. And when you have successful days consistently, well, that's how you start building a successful life.
Okay, so we've covered financial habits and morning routines. Where does the video go from here?
Well, then it gets into what it calls the 7 rules for becoming your own boss, like a roadmap for achieving financial independence and taking control of your career.
Now, this is where it gets really interesting for me. I've always been curious about entrepreneurship, but it feels like such a huge leap, you know?
Yeah, that's a common feeling. The video says that a traditional job can be a great learning experience, but stresses that true wealth often comes from working for yourself.
I like that perspective. So what's the first step on that path to becoming your own boss?
It says that discipline is more important than IQ for business success. It's not just about being smart. It's about having the grit and determination to see things through.
So it's less about what you know
Yeah,
and more about how you apply it.
exactly. And that kind of ties in with another rule, which is having the patience and perseverance to overcome setbacks. You know, building a business is rarely a smooth ride.
Well, let's be honest, life rarely goes according to plan.
Exactly. So being able to bounce back from challenges is so essential. And the video also acknowledges that every decision comes with trade-offs.
Oh, so there's no such thing as
It's a perfect choice.
perfect choice. It's about weighing the pros and cons, making the best decision for your goals.
Yeah. Right. It's about being comfortable with calculated risks and
Yeah.
understanding that sometimes you have to say no to certain opportunities to pursue others.
Okay, so discipline,
Mhm.
perseverance, strategic decision-making.
Mhm.
Those are some pretty solid foundations. What else is a highlight on this path to entrepreneurship?
Well, it talks about self-reliance, being able to figure things out and get things done on your own, being resourceful, and not waiting for someone to give you permission to succeed.
I love that. I mean, that's such a powerful mindset. It's easy to get stuck waiting for, like,
Yeah.
the perfect moment or the right opportunity.
Right. It's about taking ownership and creating your own opportunities.
Oh.
And speaking of that, it also says you should define your own version of success.
That's important. Success shouldn't be one size fits all.
Absolutely. It's about what brings you fulfillment and aligns with your values. And of course, you can't talk about entrepreneurship
Yeah.
without addressing the naysayers.
There's always naysayers. Everyone's got an opinion.
Right. It says don't let their doubts hold you back. It's about believing in your vision, even if others don't.
Trust your gut. Stay true to your path, even when it's hard.
Exactly. And that leads us to one of the most interesting parts of the video. It's called The 5 Mindsets of the Rich versus the Poor. It looks at the mental models that set apart those who, achieve financial success from those who struggle.
This is where things get really interesting. I'm curious to hear what kind of mindsets we're talking about. What's the first one? The video highlights.
It starts by contrasting people's beliefs about money itself. The wealthy tend to view poverty as the root of evil, while many others believe that money is the source of evil, like 2 totally opposite ways of looking at wealth.
That is fascinating. It really shows how our beliefs about money can shape our reality. If you think money is bad or corrupting, it's going to be much harder to attract it and keep it.
Exactly. It's about recognizing it and challenging those limiting beliefs. It gives this compelling example. Imagine how easy things would be if you didn't have to wait hours in traffic, or for medical care, or even to find a parking spot. If you had the resources to avoid those things.
I can definitely relate to those feelings of frustration and wasted time. It makes you realize how much, mental energy and stress could be relieved by having financial freedom.
Right? And when you're constantly worried about money, it can create this scarcity mindset that affects your decisions. You might make choices based on fear or limitation instead of opportunity and abundance.
So it's not just about having more money. It's about having the mental space and freedom too. Make choices that match your values and goals.
Precisely. And that leads to another contrasting mindset, taking ownership of your success versus blaming external factors.
Oh, okay. I'm guilty of that sometimes. It's easy to blame circumstances or
Yeah.
other people when things don't go your way.
Yeah, it's natural. But the video says that. Wealthy people tend to take responsibility for their outcomes. They know they can't control everything, but they can control their choices and actions.
It's about focusing on what you can influence, not dwelling on what you can't. It's about believing that you have the power to shape your own destiny.
Exactly. And that connects with another key difference in mindset, the value of specialized knowledge over formal education.
I'm sensing a little bit of a rebellious streak here. So it's not about ditching school altogether, right? It's about recognizing that formal education isn't the only path to success.
Precisely. The video argues that in today's world, specialized knowledge and skills are often more valuable than a traditional degree. It's about becoming an expert in a specific area and using that to create value and income.
So it's about being a problem solver, an innovator, someone who has unique skills.
Exactly. And that brings us to another interesting contrast, using other people's money versus relying only on your own savings.
Oh, okay. So this is where things like investors and venture capital come in. It's about realizing that you don't have to do everything yourself, and there are resources to help you scale your ideas.
Right. The video says wealthy people are good at accessing and leveraging other people's money for their ventures. It's about understanding financial systems and being okay with debt as a tool for growth.
It's about being resourceful and strategic, not being afraid to look for funding or partnerships.
Exactly. And the last mindset contrast might be the most important, prioritizing learning over entertainment.
Ouch, that one hits close to home. I might be a little too into Netflix binges.
We all have our guilty pleasures.
Yeah.
But the video points out that wealthy people are often always learning. They put their time and energy into expanding their knowledge, acquiring new skills, staying ahead of the curve.
So it's about viewing learning as an investment.
Exactly. It's about knowing that knowledge is power, and the more you know, the more opportunities you have.
Okay, so we've covered 5 contrasting mindsets. Beliefs about money, taking responsibility for your success, valuing specialized knowledge, using other people's resources, and prioritizing learning. What comes next in the video?
It then goes into what it calls the 3 growth mindsets for wealth. Essential ways of thinking to achieve financial success.
Okay, I'm ready to shift my mindset. What's the first growth mindset we should be working on?
The first one is about finding role models who have already achieved what you want. And the key here is focus on people who are no more talented or gifted than you are.
I love that. It makes success seem so much more attainable. Like, if they can do it, I can too.
Exactly. It's about realizing that success isn't just for us, select few. It's possible for anyone with dedication, the right mindset, and a willingness to work hard.
So it's about finding those relatable examples of success, people who have taken a similar path and reached the goals you want. It's about seeing possibilities, not limitations.
Precisely. And that leads us to the second, growth mindset, accepting the fact that success takes time and consistent effort.
So that's where patience comes in, right? It's knowing that there's no overnight solution for getting wealthy, and that it's a journey that takes dedication and persistence.
Exactly. And this is where it's really important to avoid comparing yourself to others. Everyone's journey is different. Focusing on your own progress is key.
It's about staying in your own lane and not getting distracted by what other people are doing. Trust the process and know that consistent work over time will get you results.
Absolutely. And that brings us to the third and final, growth mindset, prioritizing knowledge and skill development over just working more hours.
This is about working smarter, not harder. Recognizing that knowledge and skills are valuable and can help you earn more.
Exactly. It's about investing in yourself, whether it's through books, courses, mentorships, or anything else that expands your knowledge and skills. It's about realizing that continuous learning is crucial for staying ahead and adapting to a changing world.
It's like they say, the more you learn, the more you earn. It's about seeing learning as an investment that will benefit you over time.
Right. And with that, the video moves on to 3 ways to achieve early wealth. Specific things you can do to speed up your path to financial freedom.
Now we're talking. This is where it gets practical. I'm excited to hear about the strategies it suggests. What's the first one?
It says to avoid being a jack of all trades, master of none. Instead, it says to pick one area, and become a true expert.
Oh, so it's about specialization, finding your niche and being the best at that. Specific skill or knowledge?
Exactly. In today's world, having specialized skills can be a big advantage. It lets you charge more, get more opportunities, and be seen as an authority in your field.
So you become invaluable, the person that everyone wants on their team.
Exactly. And that leads to the second strategy, using online tools to build a business and reach a wider audience.
This is where the internet is.
And
Amazing, right? It's made it possible for anyone to connect with customers and build a business from anywhere in the world.
absolutely, the video says that. Online platforms have even the playing field, giving anyone with an internet connection the chance to reach millions of people.
It's about using the power of the digital world to your advantage.
Exactly. And the third strategy might be the most important, choosing the right path to create wealth. The video says you should pick opportunities that can grow quickly instead of slow, traditional approaches.
So be strategic and focus your energy on areas that have the potential to grow fast.
Exactly. It's about figuring out high potential industries, emerging trends, and innovative business models that can make a lot of money in a short amount of time.
So it's about thinking ahead and adapting to the changes in the business world.
Exactly. The video says that if you want to get rich early in life, you need to be willing to try new things, take some risks, and position yourself for rapid growth.
So it's not about playing it safe. It's about being bold and smart in your journey to financial freedom.
Absolutely. And that leads us to another really useful section of the video, 3 techniques to build a successful side hustle.
Okay, I'm ready. I've been thinking about starting a side hustle, but it's tough to balance it with a full-time job.
The video gets that. Juggling a side hustle and a job is tough. But it says it's a great way to make extra money, explore your passions, and maybe even turn it into your main gig later on.
So you're setting yourself up for future success while you still have the security of a regular paycheck.
Exactly. The first technique it highlights is starting with something you love and that there's already a market for.
That makes sense. Find something that uses your talents and that people are already willing to pay for.
Right. The video argues that passion is a key ingredient for success, especially with side hustles. It's what keeps you going when things are hard, what fuels your creativity and drive.
So it's not just about making money fast. It's about doing something you believe in, and that makes you happy.
Exactly, once you found that project. The second technique is consistency and perseverance.
Oh, yeah, that classic advice to never give up. I think this is where most side hustles fail. It's easy to get excited about an idea, but it's harder to keep going over time.
It's definitely a challenge. The video says that a successful side hustle is a marathon, not a sprint. It requires dedication, discipline, and a willingness to push through obstacles and setbacks.
So have a long-term plan and don't get discouraged by short-term problems. Enjoy the small successes along the way and know that if you keep working at it, it will pay off.
Exactly. And that leads to the third technique, always looking for ways to grow and expand.
So it's not just about keeping things the same. It's about trying to reach more people, make a bigger impact, and grow your business.
Absolutely. The video wants you to think beyond the beginning of your side hustle and imagine how you could reach more customers, make things run smoother, and ultimately make it big enough to generate serious income.
It's about thinking big, not just
Yeah,
keeping it a small project. It's having that entrepreneurial spirit, always wanting to improve and be creative.
exactly. And with that, the video finishes with a bunch of meta insights, like bonus tips for those who really want to master wealth creation.
Okay, bring on the bonus round. What are some key takeaways from this
Yeah.
final part of the video?
One that stands out is the 888 rule. 8 hours for work, 8 hours for sleep, 8 hours for life-building stuff.
Interesting. I've always had trouble with work-life balance. It feels like there aren't enough hours in the day.
It's a constant balancing act. But the video emphasizes that you need to. Make time for all 3 areas if you want to be successful and happy in the long run.
So it's not about working yourself to the bone. It's about creating a balanced life that includes
Yeah.
your job, your personal life,
Yeah.
and your relationships.
Exactly. And it all goes back to the main message of the video. Wealth is about more than just money. It's about having the freedom to live life on your own terms, do what you love, spend time with people you care about, and make a difference in the world.
It's about having the resources and the right mindset to create a life that you love.
Exactly. The video also touches on a bunch of other intriguing ideas. 12 success lessons, 4 secrets to getting more done in less time, 21 affirmations for building mental strength, and 10 secrets to working less while achieving more.
Wow, that's a lot. This video covers everything about wealth creation. It's not just about finances. It's about personal growth, mindset, productivity, and overall well-being.
Right. It's about a holistic approach, recognizing that it involves more than just money. It's also about your mindset, your habits, your relationships, and your lifestyle.
So it's not just about becoming a millionaire. It's about being the best you can be.
Exactly. It's about doing what you believe in, following your dreams, and creating a life that's both financially successful and personally fulfilling.
Well, we've definitely covered a lot of ground. I mean, it's amazing how much this one video covers. It feels like we've only just scratched the surface.
Yeah, we have. And that's the cool thing about it. There's so much to explore
Yeah.
and to actually put into practice. It's not just about passively listening to the information. It's about doing something with it and using it in your own life.
I'm already feeling inspired. I'm going to have to rewatch some of those sections and really dig into.
That's a great idea. And that's what we're going to do in our next deep dive. We'll unpack those 12 success lessons, the 4 secrets to getting more done, and all those affirmations for mental toughness.
I can't wait. This is going to be a journey of self-discovery and financial empowerment.
Picking up where we left off, you know, how the video ended that last section, with those bonus insights. Let's dive into those 12 success lessons.
They feel like
Universal truths, you know, stuff that applies to pretty much anything you want to achieve in life.
I'm all about universal truths. That's a cheat sheet for, navigating the challenges of life. What stood out to you from that part?
One that really hit home for me was the idea that you can't control everything that happens to you, but you can control how you react to it. It's about building up that resilience and adaptability, especially when things get tough.
That makes me think of that quote. Something about granting you the serenity to accept the things you can't change, the courage to change the things you can, and the wisdom to know the difference. It's all about putting your energy where it actually matters.
Exactly. It's not about avoiding challenges altogether. It's about learning to handle them well and even using them as chances to grow.
Speaking of focusing energy, another lesson that caught my attention was the one about focusing on what you can control. It's so easy to get caught up in things that are outside of your control,
Yeah, it's a common trap, especially now when we're constantly bombarded with information and pressure from the outside. The video says that. Successful people tend to put their energy towards things they can actually have an effect on.
It's a small shift in thinking, but it's powerful. Instead of feeling helpless or overwhelmed, it's about taking charge and focusing on what you can do to make things happen.
Another lesson that I think a lot of people struggle with, myself included, is setting realistic goals and breaking them down into smaller, manageable steps. It's easy to feel overwhelmed by big, ambitious goals, and then procrastination takes over.
Oh, tell me about it. I'm a master procrastinator. But yeah, you're right. Breaking things down into smaller chunks makes them seem much less intimidating.
The video uses a great analogy. It's like climbing a mountain. You don't focus on the summit the whole time. You focus on the next step, the next handhold.
It's all about progress, even small progress. Don't let the size of the task freeze you in your tracks. Little wins, done over and over, can add up to amazing results in the long run.
And then there's that classic piece of advice. Learn from your mistakes. See setbacks as learning opportunities, not reasons to quit.
This is where that growth mindset comes in again, right? Embracing those challenges, using them to get better.
Absolutely. It's about being willing to try things out, knowing that failure isn't the opposite of success. It's part of getting there.
Love that perspective. Okay, so what else did you find interesting from those success lessons?
The video talks about how important it is to surround yourself with positive people, people who support you. Create a network that lifts you up, encourages your growth.
It's like having a personal cheering section and a team of advisors. The right people can make such a big difference, not just in your career, but in your life in general.
And then there's the classic one, never give up on your dreams, even when things are tough. It's about truly believing in yourself and your vision, even when you face obstacles and setbacks.
Perseverance is key.
Yeah.
And that's something we can develop and make stronger over time.
The video also mentions celebrating your successes as you go, no matter how small. It's about acknowledging those wins, big and small, and letting them keep you motivated.
I think that's such a good point. It's easy to get so focused on chasing after goals that we forget to stop and appreciate how far we've come. Celebrating those milestones helps to keep the positive energy going.
Now, moving on to something more practical, the video talks about 4 secrets to getting more done in less time. It starts with something we talked about earlier, getting rid of distractions.
Oh, yeah. In today's world, that's like having a superpower. Feels like everywhere you turn, there's something trying to get your attention.
The video suggests a few practical things. Creating a workspace without distractions. Setting boundaries with technology. Using things like noise-canceling headphones or website blockers to reduce interruptions. It's about controlling your environment, minimizing those things that grab your attention.
It's about creating those moments of focused time where you can really get things done.
Then it talks about prioritizing your tasks, tackling the most important ones first. It's not about doing everything, it's about doing the right things.
I've heard of that 80-20 rule, the idea that 80% of your results come from just 20% of your work. It's about figuring out which tasks have the biggest impact and focusing your effort there.
And once you've figured out those key tasks, the video suggests grouping similar activities together to improve efficiency and reduce switching back and forth. Instead of jumping between different types of tasks, group the similar ones together to create a smoother workflow.
So instead of checking emails all day long, set aside a specific time to clear out your inbox. It's about creating a routine that lets you focus better.
And finally, the video suggests delegating tasks whenever you can. It's about realizing that you don't have to do it all yourself. And sometimes it's more efficient to use the skills of others.
Oh, delegation can be game-changing. It's about focusing on what you're best at and trusting others to handle the tasks that they can do well.
It's about building a team, whether it's hiring someone or working with freelancers, and using their skills to boost your productivity and impact.
Okay, so we've covered eliminating distractions, prioritizing tasks, batching similar activities together, and delegating. What's next?
This part gets into something that I think a lot of people have trouble with: 21 affirmations for building mental strength.
Ugh. It's easy to think of affirmations as fluffy or something, but there's more and more research on the power of self-talk.
I've tried affirmations before, but I haven't really stuck with them. What's the secret to making them actually work?
It's about repetition and consistency. Like you're retraining your mind by choosing thoughts and beliefs that support your goals and what you want to achieve. So instead of letting negative thoughts and doubts take over, you're consciously replacing them with positive and empowering statements.
Exactly. The video gives a bunch of affirmations that are meant to build resilience, confidence, and a positive outlook. It's about purposefully shifting your inner conversation to one that supports your growth and happiness.
Which of the affirmations really resonated with you? I'm curious what the kind of language the video uses.
One that stood out to me was, I am capable of achieving anything I set my mind to. It's about believing in what you can do and trusting your own abilities.
It's about replacing self-doubt with self-belief. Love it. What else is on that list?
Another one, which I think is especially relevant to what we're talking about today, is I attract abundance and prosperity into my life. It's about developing an abundance mindset and moving away from thinking about what you lack.
It's about believing that there's enough for everyone and that you deserve to have your share.
Exactly. The video says you should repeat these affirmations every day, out loud or in your head, to really make them sink in and become part of what you believe.
It's like you're changing your thought patterns and creating new connections in your brain that support the things you want to achieve. It's about using the power of your mind to create the reality you desire.
And finally, the video ends with 10 secrets to working less while achieving more. Strategies for getting the most done without burning yourself out.
I'm always looking for ways to work smarter, not harder. What are some of the secrets the video shares?
One of the most interesting ones is setting clear boundaries and learning to say no to things that don't fit with your priorities or goals.
That's so important. I think a lot of people struggle with that, especially people who are naturally helpful or who are afraid